Hi, welcome back to Checkpoint Running. I'm Dylan. Last video we did this route shown here in purple, which is an uphill run. And today we're going to be doing this route here in orange. So a bit of a longer run, but flatter, and actually after Cat Rock we're going to end up going downhill all the way to Maryland 77. And in case you're curious about the next video, that's what we're going to do here, shown in the blue. So we're going to end up running from 77 up to Chimney Rock, which is a fun little climb. So we're just starting out here. We're leaving the Bob's Hill Overlook and just starting on our trail. Not very fast. Just came off of the big uphill climb, so pretty tired. And so just want to just stretch the legs a bit, get them used to running. So if you're following on a treadmill or a bike or something like that, you may want to warm up and ease into this as well. Or if you came off of the previous video, you're probably also feeling the hill and probably want to take it easy here. So we're just going about 3-4 miles per hour, and you can see there with the grade that it's pretty much even, not up or down. So now that it's kind of flattened out, I can finally stretch the legs and actually really run instead of power hike. And I'm just enjoying the trail here. It's not very technical, but you can see that there are some rocks and things. And want to make sure I'm not going to kick one or step on it weird or anything like that. So just getting really into the run here. And this is about the effort or pace that I'm going to maintain for the entire duration of this video. It is a bit of a longer run, but this would be, a really good long run if you're just starting. And you might want to, like I said, warm up, make sure you feel good. Make sure you've got some hydration and nutrition nearby for this approximately 45-minute workout. So when I ran this, it was a beautiful day, but it was quite warm. It was about 80 degrees, which at the beginning of March in Maryland is pretty warm. And it was pretty unexpected. So I don't know. I liked that it was warm because I didn't have to wear any gloves or extra gear. But the amount of sweat and just how much the heat and humidity can take out of you while you're running kind of got to me. But given that this is only part 2 of our 10-part series here as we do the Thermont Loop through Cunningham Falls State Park in Maryland, I was still pretty fresh, feeling pretty good here, and finally glad to be done with Bob's Hill. In case you did miss part 1, I said it just a minute ago, but this is Cunningham Falls State Park in central Maryland. This is north of Interstate 70 and a little bit east of the Appalachian Trail, which I have shown in some of my previous videos. If you want to see the AT, I really encourage you to go watch those videos. Kind of the same format as this, where it's a first-person point of view, and you can follow along and see the trail. And I do also the shorter best of videos for people who may not want to do the workout or see the entire trail. So you can just see the nice overlooks or, monuments along the trail. So just continuing to run along here and just enjoying the day. You can see there on the slope, it's starting to get a little bit steep on this down. I don't know of any treadmill that can go down that much because you're on the, or bike even, because you're, going to hit the floor. So, depending on how you're feeling, you can just adjust it to the maximum decline that you have on your equipment, or, just leave it even. The idea here of this run as a long run would be, keep a nice, between 50 and maybe 65% effort. So an RPE of 4 to 5, somewhere in there. This is not meant to be a super strenuous workout, just as a running workout. As an ultra runner, I use these long runs and long workouts more to just get used to being on my feet, get used to continuing to move at speed when I'm really fatigued, and not necessarily trying to work my harder lungs at an extreme rate. This is definitely more of a muscle, tendon, ligament workout. So my heart rate here, I'm trying to keep below or right around 140 beats per minute. And I'm trying to just keep my breath at a rate that I can either breathe in and out through my nose, or if I'm running with somebody, I would be able to have a conversation. So hopefully you can use those to kind of gauge how you're feeling and how you're doing as you run along here. Continuing to run downhill here. After Bob's Hill, this felt really, really nice to be able to run downhill. I do like downhills when I'm nice and fresh and my legs aren't tired. The final part of this entire loop is going to be going back down Bob's Hill. So look for that, in a future video. And at that time, my legs were burning. They were on fire. It was actually really hard to run downhill, but that's part of the training, is getting used to running both up and downhill and being able to support your weight in both directions. Now this training run that I did through the park here was just part of my normal training. This was a long run, really long run, intended to emulate maybe half of a 50K or something like that. And it was so hot, I was a little bit unadjusted, I guess, for it. And so this run actually was pretty brutal for me, even though right now we're just cruising along here. And we're going to start going back uphill. There's just this really steep uphill here. Watching the video back here, it doesn't seem like it's steep. But yeah, I don't know, it just kind of shoots up real quick here, and then we're going to level out again. I don't even remember feeling this at that time. I think I was just happy to be running. And so anyway, this long run was part of my training that I'm getting ready for with the Transalpine run. There's a lot of steep climbing up and down on that race. So I was trying to get out here and do the best I can, living in Maryland, where it's generally pretty flat. Don't have, these kind of epic multi-mile long climbs. You get like a mile or maybe 2 mile climb, and you might only get 1,000 feet or about 300 meters on a climb. There's really nothing else in Maryland that's very high or very steep. And so this was a way to emulate a little bit of that and to get some really good climbing in. Like I said, to emulate about half of a 50K race. The day was beautiful though. Blue sky, sunny. Some of the plants starting to come to life for spring here, which was really nice. I think there were also a lot of people out on this run. Not this particular section, but overall, there were a lot of people out enjoying the weather because it was so warm early in the spring. These rocks, though, you notice it's relatively flat, but these rocks, none of them are in the same orientation, and they're kind of jagged. By the end of the run, I was so done with those rocks. Actually, if you stick with this series in the future video, I started singing to myself a little rock song just to be able to mentally deal with how many rocks there were and to be able to get over them. I think it might be part 8 or 9 out of 10. It's another longer section, but it's more of a power hike on that section because it's uphill, and I was extremely tired by this point, or that point in the run. Here, still fresh, so cruising along, 5 miles per hour. It's about a 12-minute per mile pace if you're following along on a treadmill, something like that. And you should try to run at a pace that is an RPE 4 or 5 for you, which it's going to be different depending on fitness, where you are in your running career. For the elites, this would be probably not even RPE 4. But for me, it is, and for someone else, even this is going to be fast.
Morning.
I did really enjoy this run, though, especially this section. Bob's Hill is extremely challenging to climb, and this trail was brand new to me. I hadn't run this particular part of this trail before. I've done Bob's Hill a lot. It's a great place for me to go and do hill training, but I hardly ever ventured further into the park because I just wanted the hill training. But today I knew I had the time to do a full run through the park, and so I was venturing out to areas I hadn't been to before. And here, climbing back up again, I'm getting a little tired. You can hear me sighing, kind of breathing hard. Mostly because of these rocks. I don't know what it is. They just suck so much energy out of you. Trying to not twist your ankle, not trip, make sure you pick up your feet high enough. So it's a real challenge. And I think I was also checking my map, make sure I wasn't getting lost, since I had not been through this part before. And I knew a turn was coming up. And so here we are at the turn. And I'm trying to decide which way I want to go. And we're going to turn right towards Cat Rock. Ignore the slope there. This is not actually a 40% slope. There's something about my GPS tracker that I use for these stats that when you stand still, it just starts going way up, and I don't know why. It's like if you stand still, it thinks you're going straight up into the sky or something. here I'm back to a walk. I think I was getting a little bit of food. I would encourage you guys, if you are doing this, to bring some food and eat it all on the way.
Never second berry.
Yeah, so I'm just eating a Never Second berry flavored gel. If you've been watching me for any period of time, you know I really like these Never Second gels. They go down really, really easily. You don't need any water with them, and they have just a very light, crisp flavor to them. No matter which flavor you get, berry, orange, lime, etc. They have a bunch of different flavors. So I don't really get flavor fatigue from them, and so I can just keep taking them all the time. I really like that. If you just are starting this video and you didn't do the previous part, you probably should be coming, near the end of your warm up here as well. So it'd probably be a great time to grab a gel or some water at minimum before we start running again. You are able to see on the elevation profile that it's going to be a little bit of flat here for a bit more, and then we just have this really long downhill. And this downhill run was so fun. Like it just had a bit of everything. It's got some switchbacks and some tight turns and rocks you can jump off of, and really steep at some places, so you have to be careful and watch your balance. It's just, I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. So stick with it here and get ready for that downhill, and I hope you'll have some fun with it too. And soon, some upcoming videos should start seeing some green and some flowers and things. It starts to get really, really pretty on the east coast of the United States towards the beginning of April and into May. Yeah, this was just a beautiful trail. And this part here, without as many rocks, was a nice break. Let you just enjoy this bit of trail, nice blue sky, before we run our steep down. So I've picked it up a little bit to about 6 miles per hour. It's nice and even ground here, slightly downhill. I'm not using my poles. I'm just holding them because there's, I can just run faster, swing my arms, be more efficient, just holding my poles. I could have folded them and put them in my pack or whatever. But I don't know. I don't mind carrying them. They're super lightweight. I think they weigh like a quarter of a pound. And so, yeah, just cruising along here and really enjoying the non-technical part. Also kind of warmed up definitely feeling recovered after Bob's Hill climb. And I just ate some nutrition, which those gels, I absorbed them super fast. So um, it's probably already hit my bloodstream and made me start feeling much better. No longer at kind of a caloric deficit in my blood sugar. On the topic of nutrition, I can't eat enough calories when I'm running. I can generally eat about 400 calories an hour, but I'll be burning about 600 calories an hour, maybe more. And so, yeah, over time it starts to add up. You start doing, 10, 12-hour races. You start getting into 2,000, 3,000 calorie deficits. So you have to really pay attention to your nutrition when you're doing long runs and ultra running, and make sure you're getting enough, really high carbohydrate products, low fat, maybe a little bit of protein are so good. So, it could be a cupcake, peanut butter and jelly sandwich, rice, potatoes, all those things are just super calorie dense. To supplement your gels at aid stations is all great. Coke, the soft drink, so good when you're at a calorie deficit, because it's very calorie dense, and you get a little bit of hydration with it as well, which is also another challenge of ultra running, making sure that you maintain proper hydration. And we're just kind of starting our downhill here. I don't know if I speed up very much. I think I keep a pretty consistent 6 miles per hour. You might get up to about 7 miles per hour. But going that fast downhill can actually be really challenging and cause more fatigue than just going at a nice, steady, consistent pace that's manageable, and having small, quick footsteps. On a trail, it's hard to, I think, at least it's hard for me to keep the ideal cadence, because you have to adjust your feet to the terrain. It's not a road or a track where you can, if you are like a robot, you could turn your feet over perfectly every time. Can't really do that on the trail. So I just, do what makes sense for me and try to make sure that my feet land well and aren't going to cause like a twisted ankle or a trip or something that could cause injury. This trail is also brand new to me. I had never run it before, so I didn't know what to expect. If it's a trail that I've run before, I'm always faster than new trails, because I know exactly where the rocks are and when I need to pay attention and when I can kind of let my mind wander. But on new trails, I'm always focused and making sure I notice rocks, roots, things like that. And something I continue to practice and train myself for is looking ahead, scanning the trail and adjusting where I'm going to put my feet as I kind of come to it, just for efficiency and to maintain speed. Because if you are always looking down at your feet, it's really hard to adjust and to keep a good speed. Just clearing my throat, kind of blowing my nose. It was warmer this day, but I think I might have mild allergies. never been tested for allergies or anything, so I don't know. I don't know if it was allergies or just irritation from pollen or dust or whatever in the air. So just continuing to keep that consistent effort. Kind of leveled off here, so we're back to a steady 5 miles per hour. Just enjoying the day. I mean, just look at how beautiful this is. I love running in places like this. Sunny, bright day, sparse vegetation so you can see through the trees, and just a nice open path, not technical, that you can just run and really enjoy. Almost 30 minutes into this workout. Probably a good time to check in with yourself, see how you feel. Are you breathing hard? Are you trying to run? And, should you be breathing hard? If you're not trying to run hard, maybe start dialing it back a little bit. Just kind of adjust to whether you're trying to do a long run or maybe you are trying to do this as like a tempo run or something, and just using the video as a nice distraction or something. But check in with where you want to be in your training. If you are treating this like a long run, which I was when I did this live, is make sure you're not pushing really hard. You shouldn't really feel super fatigued. You might even just start to feel like you're feeling warm, depending on where you're at in your fitness. So check in. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty? How are your feet, toes, ankles, knees, hips? Are your shoulders relaxed? Arms relaxed? Head up? Just take the minute to check in. A minute of adjustment and just checking in with yourself can save you pain later down the line when you're doing ultra running or a long trail run. The little thing that's kind of bothering you now, maybe it's like a tiny pebble in your shoe, or maybe your socks are rubbing your feet wrong or something like that. That little thing right now could turn into something really big later. So it's better to just take the minute and adjust it now. It's one of the many lessons I've learned doing ultra endurance events. It's to understand when something is going to be a bother and when something is just the way it is, and you're not going to be able to change it or fix it. Uh, but the former, just something minor that you can fix is usually more frequent. Here I've just kind of slowed down. I think pull out, check the map again, because I had not been to this section before, and just making sure I'm still on the correct path, didn't miss a turn off or anything like that, especially because of the switchback here, and I wasn't sure. But I confirmed I was on the right trail. Even start seeing some of the yellow trailblazes on the trees again, so we know we're going in the right direction. And this is starting to get a little bit steep. Now these, negative 15, negative 20% are not too terrible. They're a lot of fun to run because they're very runnable, and you're not like feeling like you need to be a mountain goat to get down it. So I enjoy these kinds of downhills. I think I said something about these rocks.
Oh, don't fall.
And there I kicked one and she almost fell. I laugh about it now as I'm watching this back, but it actually hurt a lot. And here, because I hadn't been to this area before, I didn't recognize that this was Cat Rock here. So I turned left and I didn't go right to the Overlook. So I'll have to come back some other time and, actually go see the Overlook. It was unfortunate, but, when you're new to an area, sometimes you're not sure where you're going exactly. So I was just enjoying it. And I also didn't want to disrupt my downhill run too much. I was having a lot of fun with it. There's a couple of steps that the trail maintenance people had cut into it, so I was trying to run quickly between the steps, and then as I approach the step, to make sure I don't overstep or land funny or anything like that in my stride. I sometimes double step, and that just helps me get ready to step down and make sure I'm not going to twist an ankle or miss the step in a weird way. And here's a power cut through, power right of way. I kind of like these because you can end up seeing really, really far, in both directions along these cuts. This one didn't have any especially pretty views from right there, but it was just kind of a nice break. So with about 10 minutes left, we were just going to go down this hill as fast as I felt safe to do. It's still very rocky, and I'm almost certain that a fall here would mean smashing an arm or maybe even my head on a rock, and that could that could have been trouble. So now we're getting into minus 21, 22%.
Morning. Hey.
And this is about where it starts to feel like you need a little bit of mountain goat in you to avoid falling. It's still very runnable, but just got to be careful. And there are so many rocks here that are just sticking out of the trail and could really cause problems. Yep, right there. I misjudged the step and twisted my ankle a little bit. Not too severe, but you heard my kind of cry of pain there. And it was a little tender for a bit here, but it happens. I've been trail running long enough. I've probably done that 50 times, so I know what it feels like when it actually is an injury versus just unexpected. And this was just an unexpected one that kind of hurt for, I don't know, maybe another couple 100 feet, and then I didn't feel it again for the rest of the run. That's where just having really good core strength and balance comes in to trail running. So each week I do some balance training and some core strength workouts. So I'll do crunches and planks, leg lifts, V-ups, those sorts of things, precisely for that reason right there. Just going downhill and maintaining an upright posture, it just makes this that much easier, and I don't burn energy flailing all over the place. And if I do trip or step on a rock or something funny, I can catch myself with just my core strength, because I wasn't using my poles there. I've just got my poles in my hand, so I could really open up on this downhill and enjoy it. I'm not trying to go too fast here. We're actually going slower than we were on the flats a little while ago because I wanted to stay controlled. If I get out of control, it can be hard to stop, or it can take a lot of energy to change direction. So just keeping a nice controlled run down the hill here. We're almost to the bottom here. So as we finish out this downhill, thank you so much for running with me throughout the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything like that, let me know in the comments below. I want to hear from you. I really appreciate hearing from my viewers, and I want to be able to create videos that you want to watch. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you enjoy these workouts, what kind of workouts you want to see. Do you want to see things other than long runs, like maybe sprints or other types of runs that I do. And so I'll just kind of leave you to finish out this downhill here, whether you're going to cool down or if you're going to do the next video. Just let you enjoy the trail. Thanks for being here.